Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. 2.5 months ago, I purchased this 2022 Kia EV6. Now, I'm a person who loves modifying my cars. I've got a Miata and I've got a Stinger that I'm constantly doing things to. This car is not going to be any different. However, due to how new it is and just lack of aftermarket support, I've had to get a little creative. Now, what I want to cover in this video is what I would call all of my modifications. I understand not everything can qualify as a mod. There's a whole group of people out there that'll, argue with me on that. But I don't care. I think what I want to focus on is what have I changed? What have I added? What have I colored? What have I removed? Everything on the outside, everything on the inside. So we're going to dive right in and talk about all the things I've changed on my 2022 Kia EV6. Let's get started.
When I bought this car, it did not have any mud guards or mud flaps on there. The part numbers weren't even available. So I got a little creative and reused the ones that I had on my previous car. These are universal eBay ones, and they're made of really high quality plastic, and they also are adjustable based on how wide your wheel is, so you can make them narrower or stick them out a little bit further if you need to. Here's the link, check them out if you want. Mod number 2. Diffuser and side splitters. Now I've always loved the rear of this car, but the bottom always looked a little empty, especially with that exhaust tips as well. So I ordered this eBay so-called diffuser. It's just attaches on with some double-sided tape or however you want. Adds a little bit of flair to the rear. And on the sides, I actually ordered some 86-inch universal side splitters from eBay as well. Cut them down to fit and attach them properly. Not only does it add a little something to the side, but it also makes it look a little lower than it actually is. All in all three of these mods together I actually really like. Here's the links if you need them. And now for my favorite modification, the wheels and tires. I knew I didn't like the stock 19s. I was on my quest for a well-fitted black wheel, mostly because it was a Glacier car. So, did some research. I knew a lot about the numbers. I also really knew how to kind of take the right risks. So I figured, any hub bore that's bigger than 67.1, an offset of between 35 and 45 would flush it out as much as I wanted, but also something black. And I found these. I've had 2 or 3 different sets of Avid wheels on my Miata, so I was already familiar with the company. And I love this design as I had the gold ones on my Miata for a while. When I saw that they had the 20x9 plus 35s available, I jumped on it. I was a little worried about the poke, and sure, they do poke out a little bit as you can see in this picture. Maybe it doesn't work for everybody, but I think with the drop, when I finally drop, these will look really good. So overall, I did keep the same tires that came on my 19s, meaning I did buy the 20-inch versions of the Kumo Krugans. Very quiet, very good for electric vehicles, and I absolutely love the ride. A little soft, not the most performance-driven tires, but really like the ride. And I love the concavity of the wheels, as you can see in this picture. I'm really happy with these. Not sure if I'll change it up anytime soon. And I heard they discontinued them, so I'm going to hold on to them for now. I also decided to change up things behind the wheels by coloring my calipers from the stock boring silver. I chose blue because A, it's electric, but also because my other 2 cars had red calipers and I wanted something a little different. So I ended up doing a spray instead of a paint, and it's a engine enamel called Ford Blue from Duplicolor. Really like the color, a little bright, stands out. If you also notice, I have little Kia emblems or logos that match the paint, and those I will post a link from the Etsy shop that I bought them from. Originally, I didn't really have a problem with the silver they used on this car because it wasn't chrome, but the more I owned it, a couple days into owning it I should say, I decided that it needs to be blacked out. The silver just clashed with the warm nature of the Glacier color. So here you'll see I blacked out all the side trim. I used Plastidip, which I have a video of on my channel. I Plastidip the rear, and I also took off the EV6 badge and blacked out the Kia badge in the rear. Here you'll see that the whole back strip was also blacked out, along with any other trim that was silver. And last but not least, I did black out the front Kia badge, and that looks so much better on the Glacier. I've always been a fan of black roofs on cars, especially lighter colored cars, so I knew I was going to black the top out. I was just torn on doing the spoiler also, and also if I wanted to do the sides. However, when I saw a forum member do it on a different colored car, I fell in love, and I knew that's the way I wanted to go. As you can see with these pictures, it looks really good, especially with the black trim.
The only other thing I've done on the inside besides those kind of cheap Amazon inserts is the mats. These are the Euro spec all season mats. So they are actually two pieces in the front, and then in the back they are one, actually they're also two pieces. Never mind. Yeah, so it's they're really nice. I like them a lot better than the US spec ones. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now, a little bit hard to film because it's dark and I don't have a really nice camera, but I'm going to show you my what I call poor man's ambient lighting. As you can see, because I have the wind with Tech Package even, it does not come with any ambient lighting. So you don't get any of the stuff here that you get, the cool lines, there's nothing. And in the rear, it's pitch dark. So it's a very, very dark cabin, a little disappointing to get with the Tech Package. So what I did was I went through a couple of those kind of lighter plug-in kits, and yeah, they're a little cheesy. You can find them at like Burlington, Ross, TJ Maxx, all those kind of places. But I did try a couple, and the biggest problem I was seeing is because they're multicolored lights, meaning you can choose the colors, a lot of them weren't defaulting to the color that I wanted. They would just kind of reset to a color that I did not want. And I wanted ones that would go to the same color every time I turned the car on. So the kit that I installed, I'll show you. I'll just press my power button here. Flashes a little. But what you can see is I chose blue, and I actually really like this blue. It's a really nice deep blue, kind of just complements the car. It's a little deeper than the rest of the blue in this car, but I do like it. But you can see it lights up the footwells pretty well, and it's actually the perfect amount of light. And what this with this kit right here, I have a little thing mounted down here. Sorry you can't see it much, but I can change the color if I want. There's different colors: red, orange, green, more green, blue. So I'm gonna leave it at blue. There's an app that comes with this kit that I bought. I haven't really messed with it in all honesty, and you can use it to control the brightness. You can also set animations like where it goes through all the colors. I don't like a lot of that cheesy stuff. But what I do want to show you is how I wired this very quickly and what it looks like in the back as well. So let me get back there and show you. So it's interesting because the color comes off really weird in the dark on this phone. The color is actually really soft. It blends really well. So apologies, it doesn't look that great in this, but it does light up under the seat really well. And let me see if I zoom out. Yeah, so that's a little bit more identical to kind of what it looks like. It does add a little bit of light at the back. My daughter absolutely loves it. My goal eventually is to add some lighting to the side. I am going to look at some of the fiber optic kind of lighting. But anyway, let me show you how I routed this, and this should give some people an idea of how to make this look clean. Okay, so what you'll see here, ignore my Motorola MA1, just kind of hanging there. It's the one with the red light, and it goes down to this switch. You can't really see, like I said, that when you're sitting up here. And I tucked it all the way under this console. It runs under there, under here. Oh, I gotta fix that. A little bit showing. So yeah, under there, all the way down the side of the car. And then here, you'll see a tiny bit of wire that's tucked under the seat in the back. So let me go to the back. Oof, that beep. I hate that beep. So here, and you can actually, if you want, you can actually make it even a little better tucked. But realistically, you can never see that. The seat's pulled all the way up because I wanted to show you guys. But yeah, that's about it. And then you'll see the lighting under here. So that's basically what I did. And it goes on both sides. So I know it's not a professional install, and a lot of people are gonna be like, wow, that's really cheap. But it works, and it was like $12. So I am happy with it. All right, let's take a look at this dash cam. So this was an Amazon dash cam. I like this one a lot because it does have that rear facing camera as well as a front facing. It's pretty wide and it does a loop recording, all that kind of stuff. Nothing super high end, but it works really well for me. I do need to move it down a little bit because this giant console kind of shows up in it. So really the ideal place would be somewhere down here. But anyway, as you can see, I tucked the wires, basically wireless from this angle, but you'll see it goes up there. I just went behind this trim all the way down, behind all this, under the glove box, kind of tucked it all up under there, and then it just goes and attaches to this thing right here. Sure, from this angle it's a little bit of an eyesore, but honestly, you never see it from here up here. Doesn't really bother me at all. It works really well. Somebody did link a module that I actually have purchased. It's just I haven't installed it. And that actually connects to a wire right in here. Sorry, right in there. So you take that apart and this actually harnesses right into that wire right there. And then you can not have to reroute it all the way. I just haven't installed it yet, so I will get to that next. So that is my dash cam setup.
Since the car did not come with wireless Android Auto or CarPlay, I'm using the Motorola MA1 and CarLink Kit to do both. They both work really well, easy to program. The problem is I have to hook back and forth based on who's driving the car because my wife uses the iPhone and I use a Galaxy. So what's next? I've got a few things on my list. Number one is getting my iBox Pro Kit installed. This has been sitting at my house for 3 weeks and I can't wait to lower my car. Here's the part number if you need it, and I'm really excited about this one. I'm also planning on eventually adding a roof spoiler. I had it on my last car and it looked really good. This is the only one I've found in the market from overseas and it's expensive. So let's see what happens. And last but not least, I do plan on adding some fiber optic lighting as this person did on the forums. Looks really good. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this helps for any of you that are looking to do different things to your EV6. Make sure you subscribe, like, and check out my Instagram.